Hello, YouTube. This is Michael, and I'm back again. And hopefully, today you can like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you like the information that you're hearing. I want to talk to you today about your body is not your own. Lately, there's been some talk on some of the videos I've watched on YouTube about broke men don't deserve no coochie or sex or whatever. I've also seen some things where Dr. T.S. Johnson and Osei Duke Jackson were discussing sexless marriages and talking about how a lot of brothers are running around or having to deal with this situation. And so we know that sometimes women have used sex as a weapon. So what I wanted to do is go back into the biblical foundation and explain why this is improper for a young lady or a wife to do to a husband. And hopefully we can all be encouraged and gain more. Again, if you can, if you see this, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. So I'm starting in Proverbs chapter 5, and I'm going to read from 15 to verse 20. So it says, "Drink waters out of thy own cistern, and running waters out of thine own well. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the streets. Let them be only thine own, and not a stranger's with thee." Right there, that tells me now that we should not be having these threesomes and all these other things that people are asking for. But of course, people have turned to their own devices and not really necessarily trying to follow the scripture, which is why I would be bringing up something like this, even with manosphere-oriented commentary. One of the reasons why we talk about people being out of line or women being out of order is that they're not following the design that God set up for them. And so one of the ways to do it is educate. Maybe someone will hear this and realign themselves with their purpose. Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. Let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her love. And closing in verse 20, and why wilt thou, my son, be ravished with a strange woman, and embrace the bosom of a stranger? And switching from that to 1 Corinthians 7, one of the reasons why we have sometimes temptation and adultery and or fornication in our country deals with the fact that we are neglecting each other. So when I go to saying that your body is not your own, I'm not trying to say that to be domineering or misogynistic. I'm saying that to be a matter of fact because the scripture points it out. God had a design, and the reason that God had the design for that was in order for us to be happy in marriage, in order for us to keep ourselves faithful. One of the designs of God's plan was that there were 3 times when you were not supposed to basically have intercourse, and one is on the menstrual cycle, one is during a time of fasting that's mutual that everybody knows about, and the third time, of course, would be the time that you were healing after having children. So other than that, the woman is not to deprive the man, and the man is not to deprive the woman. And I think a lot of our confusion and problems within certain situations on the marital forefront could be fixed if we return to what the actual standard for relationships, love, and marriage is. So in looking at the chapter 7 of 1 Corinthians, verse 2 through 5, "Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband." Fornication is any sex outside of marriage. "Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife to the husband." In some translations it says due affection instead of due benevolence. Verse 4, "The wife hath not power of her own body, but the husband, and likewise also the husband hath not power of his own body, but the wife." In my translation, the note says is not master of. So you're not master of your own body. The spouse's body belongs to the opposite spouse. And so in order to keep people faithful, in order to keep people happy, we are supposed to be having continual sexual relations and making sure that the other is satisfied, that they're not tempted to go out into the street and do something that they shouldn't be doing. And the last verse, "Defraud ye not one another, except it be with consent for a time, that you yourselves to be fasting and prayer." and coming together again, that Satan tempt you not into incontinency. So we don't want you to develop a lack of self-control because you are going without, because one person is deciding to fast without telling the other, or one person decided to pray without telling the other, or one person is deciding that I'm not in the mood, or I'm not this or not that. Naturally, humans are not robots, and we can understand that people can be tired sometimes and have some health issues and different things like that. But realistically, just you not doing it because you don't want to is not the proper way to handle that in a relationship. So I hope that this information can be beneficial to you for those of you that are seeing it. And again, if you like this information, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. My name is Mike Beard. Thanks again.